Good evening and welcome back to our Friday edition of Live at 5. I'm Haley Gordon.
And I'm Kelsey Rushing. We have a big show for you today, so don't miss a thing.
Coming up next, we have Matt Harrelson with Congressman Robert Pittenger with a live in-studio interview from earlier this morning.
Thank you for joining us here on Live at 5. My name's Matt Harrelson. We're here with Congressman Robert Pittenger from the 9th Congressional District. Thanks for joining us, Congressman.
Great to be with you.
Just a couple of local questions here about Richmond County. In downtown Rockingham especially, we've seen a resurgence in the last couple of years of small businesses starting up. And what needs to happen on your level to make sure that that growing continues?
Absolutely. Frankly, that's what we're about right now in our tax reform. We believe that small business is the key toward our economy. 70% of the new jobs in this country are created from small business, and yet they're burdened with unfair tax responsibility. I had a small business, most of them are subchapter S, they're pass-throughs, and they're paying a close to a 40% tax rate when you add it up. So we will lower that down to about 25%, and that will have a significant amount in helping small business expand. And right now they have enormous burden and regulations as well as the tax burden that's really restricted our growth. And unless we address this, we're going to see the continued stagnant growth that we've experienced the last decade. We can do far better. I recall in the early 1980s when we reduced the tax burden, particularly on small business, that the economy took off. In a matter of a year and a half, we were creating 300,000 jobs a month, and 400,000 jobs a month, and 500,000 jobs a month, 1 month, 1 million jobs. We had sustained growth at 4%. One quarter we grew at 7.3%. And this is all because we unleashed the American people. We took the bounds of the bureaucracy, the regulations, and frankly the burdensome taxes that gave relief to the small business and then allowed them to flourish and grow.
Now, with that being said, as Richmond County's representative, what are you doing on a federal level to bring jobs to this area?
Well, we passed one bill relative to from the Agricultural Committee that enables the establishment of one of your buildings downtown to renovate it. Mm-hmm. So that was important. I think everything that we do, though, is going to incentivize and help expansion. And for large corporations to expand, to build out, I work very closely with all the economic development committees in each of my counties. I have 8 counties, particularly those who are been under just a real dire stress in the last, frankly, decades, to help facilitate growth and having business expansion move in to our counties. So I'm very proactive to work in that regard.
Okay. Now, a big topic of discussion nationally and also locally is Richmond County's been no different when it comes to the opioid epidemic.
Absolutely.
What do you think needs to be done regarding that?
Well, President Trump declared this past week that the opioid crisis was a national crisis, a national emergency. Congress has already appropriated over $500 million toward addressing the opioid crisis to help law enforcement as well as to help programs for individuals who are suffering from this in this crisis. It's a terrible havoc on our culture and our society. We had a young girl just in our neighborhood, 3 houses down, about 30 years old, who died from this. And so it's been very close to me. I've known the family for a long time. So I'm very much concerned and very much involved in this.
Now, something that's kind of gotten out of the limelight a little bit recently, but was a topic of discussion a few months ago, we have a Confederate monument that is downtown here in Harrington Square, just a few blocks away. What do you think should be done with that, if anything?
Well, you know, these monuments are an historical representation. To me, gosh, they've been there for many, many decades. I think there's a sad reality of the pain that people felt, you know, went through, their families went through the suffering of slavery. To me, it becomes a reference point, saying to recall, to refer. I don't think you can deny history. I don't think anybody's paying homage to it or going to lay, you know, pay tribute. I think it's a reference point, and I think we ought to see it like that.
Now, are you in favor of a border wall between Mexico and the United States? And if so, who should pay for it?
Well, sure, I think a border wall makes sense, regardless of who pays for it. There will be enormous economic benefit back to the United States from the programs that we are having to support, whether it's through law enforcement or through our educational systems, through our emergency rooms, whatever. There's an enormous social burden that is entailed in those who've come across our border illegally. I think it's not just an immigration issue. This is an issue relative to our national security. I chair our Congressional Task Force on Terrorism and Unconventional Warfare. And I think we have to be very certain, and we are certain, that our adversaries utilize that open border, which is 40% porous, to cross over. You know, Europe has gone through a tremendous transition in the last decade because of and through open borders of what they're experiencing today. And so I think that is a prudent thing to do from a national security point of view as well.
Okay. And I know on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, you introduced a bill on the House floor that would stop abortion clinics from using taxpayer-based bonds.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, that's the spirit of the Hyde Amendment. That has been a bipartisan amendment. It's been there for, gosh, over 40 years. But the purpose of this bill is to make sure that those entities that provide abortions are not allowed to utilize taxpayer-enabled bonds that are tax-exempt bonds to be able to build their facilities. For example, in New York City, Planned Parenthood built a renovated building that was their national headquarters. It was a $30 million renovation, and they spent about $15 million of it came from a tax-exempt bond. So we don't think that it's right that the taxpayer should be a part of that. And frankly, 3 years after they renovated the building, they resold it for $60 million. That shouldn't have been through the benefit, to their benefit as a result of the taxpayer being involved in that. There's a recent Marist poll that said that 62% of the American people, Democrat and Republican, conservative and liberal, did not believe that taxpayer funds should be used to support abortion.
And my last question, kind of a silly one, but with Halloween coming up, got any plans on dressing up?
No. We have enough of a circus in Washington, D.C. I don't need to contribute to that.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Congressman Pittenger, for joining us, and we'll be right back.
At Richmond Community College, we can prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College, local college, big impact.
With hospice, you guys just outdo yourselves every day. And I really appreciate it. I honest to God don't know what I would do if it weren't for you. The things that you do, I'm in approval of. And thank you. I don't know what else to say other than thank you.
Welcome back to Live at 5, and now for your local news. On Wednesday afternoon at 2:58 p.m., emergency crews were dispatched to a two-vehicle accident at the intersection of Walnut Lane and East Broad Street in Rockingham near the Family Dollar. On arrival, rescue units discovered that there were three occupants with injuries serious enough to be transported to a local hospital. Authorities on the scene reported that two patients were being transported by First Health EMS and the third transported by Cordova Fire Rescue.
Units responding to the accidents were Rockingham Fire Department, Rockingham Police Department, Richmond County Sheriff's Department, First Health Richmond EMS, and Cordova Fire and Rescue. The Rockingham Police Department is continuing the investigation into the cause of the accident at this time.
Thursday was a historic day in downtown Rockingham as a longtime business reopened its doors. On October 26 marked the official reopening of Helms Jewelers at 211 East Washington Street in Rockingham, under the management of Ellen Branick. Since 1893, Helms has been a mainstay in Richmond County, attracting local customers throughout the county. Jewelry has always been an interest to Branick as she went in to pick Steve Morris's brain about the business end of the jewelry industry. Little did she know at the time that she would one day become the new face of Helms Jewelers.
Browder Park and the city of Rockingham are geared up for the 12th annual Trunk or Treat celebration. The annual event is set to take place at Browder Park on Tuesday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m., located at 1311 Rockingham Road. According to Kim Williams, event coordinator for the city of Rockingham, there are 23 confirmed businesses and groups that will participate in the candy handout. Williams expects a large turnout and said in previous years there has been as many as 3,000 children and their families who attended the 2-hour event. Get your costumes ready and head out there.
On Friday, October 27th, Hudson Brothers will be hosting its annual Halloween party and costume contest. It will also be hosting the band's Safety Committee, which plays mostly classic rock. The event begins at 8:30 p.m. at the Daly's location at 115 South Lee Street in Rockingham. The owner, Robin Roberts, invites everyone to come out and bring your friends for some adult Halloween fun and live rock and roll.
Local veterans will be coming together on November 11th at Arts Richmond, located in downtown Rockingham, to exhibit their artwork. Motivated by the therapy art produced for veterans with PTSD, Richmond County Sheriff's Deputy Brandon Parrish decided to start art therapy for veterans a year ago. On November 11th, veterans will display any type of artwork they may have at Arts Richmond from 12 noon to 5 p.m. All of the events will be incorporated into the Veterans Day celebration, which includes a parade at 3 p.m. To learn more about Parrish's artwork, visit his Facebook page, Charcoal Inspirations by Brandon Parrish. And we will be right back after these messages.
I'm Kelly. I worked at Champion Ford for 2 years.
6 years.
3 years.
1 year.
I've been at Champion Ford for 13 years.
1 whole year. 15 years.
I'm Jamie and I've been at Champion Ford for 12 years.
I've been here 8 years.
Champion prices, champion service, champion experience.
Get treated like a champion today at Champion Ford. Just down the road from high prices, championfordlincoln.com.
We are Champion Ford.
Welcome back to Live at 5, and we are joined today by Teresa Smith, and she is the coordinator for Richmond County Special Olympics. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here today.
Oh, of course, definitely. So you guys have a big event coming up next week on Wednesday the 1st, correct?
That is correct. We
Awesome.
have our bocce tournament.
Which will be very exciting.
It is. It's a great time. We hope a lot of people will come out and join us and cheer our athletes on. It's a great day.
And you said that you had 123 athletes registered, correct?
That is correct. We have 123 athletes here in Richmond County that have been practicing for the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Which is very impressive. That's awesome. And I've seen New Hanover County's, which is Wilmington, their Special Olympics, which is huge. And to be in Richmond County, which clearly is not as big as New Hanover, just hearing that you have 123 registered and who have been practicing, that's impressive.
It really is. We have really good turnouts for our events here in Richmond County.
That's awesome. And so you guys have 3 events throughout the year, correct?
That is correct. Bocce being the first one of our season. We run our seasons pretty much with the school season.
Okay, that's smart. Good. And so then in May, you guys have the track and field or the athletic events.
That's correct. That happens out at Richmond Senior High towards the beginning of May before school gets out.
Awesome. Perfect. And that's the running, the jump, and the softball toss, right?
That's correct.
Awesome. And then the third event for the year is the bowling.
That's right. And that happens in the beginning of March. So they'll start practicing right after the Christmas break for that event.
Good, good. Well, we're starting things off strong with the bocce tournament.
Yes,
right
I'm really excited to have that many athletes competing this year. I think that number might be a little bit up from last year, in fact.
That's good. That's good. Just better and better. That's what we aim for, right?
That's exactly what we aim for.
Exactly. And so just in case things, you have a rain date for the 8th, correct?
That's correct.
Just in case.
I'm watching the weather very closely, and as of right now, everybody is saying it's going to be beautiful that day.
It sounds like it.
We went ahead and picked a rain date just because you never know.
Exactly, which is good planning. I love it. So on Wednesday, you guys have clearly done a lot of preparation for this, and for funding for the Special Olympics is only from sponsors and donations, correct?
That's correct. We're not funded by the county or the state. Everything is by the community here in Richmond County that supports our athletes and our program.
Right, and it seems like so far we're off to a good start with sponsors for athletes and stuff, but there's always a need for more.
Absolutely. I think as of today we have about 21 athletes that have been sponsored, and as we just said, just for this event we already have 123 that are practicing.
Right.
Spring games, the one for athletics is usually our biggest event of the year, and so if we have 123 for bocce, I can't even imagine what we're going to have for athletics.
Right, exactly. So, so specifically for the bocce event on the 1st, you guys still need chips, snack cakes, paper products, and condiments, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Good.
And when we're talking about the chips and the snack cakes, we do individually wrap so that they can go through the line. Probation and Parole here in Richmond County come out and cook them some hot dogs and have a drink for them. And when they come through the line, they're able to grab a bag of chips and a snack cake to have for dessert with their meal.
Perfect. So if anybody wants to give to Special Olympics,
yes,
which you need to do, how can they contact you?
My number is 910-997-8379. You can also contact me through the Richmond County Special Olympics Facebook page, and just look up Richmond County Special Olympics and you'll find our Facebook page there, and you can send a message through there. Perfect. Or again calling me 910-997-8379. Can't say that enough because I need you to be
we'll say it over and over again. Exactly. So those are just some things that you need for this event, and it's not just providing for them, but it's the medals, it's the t-shirts and stuff like that, and so that requires funding as well.
Absolutely. We have been very fortunate that for our bocce event we have a local business that stepped up and has donated the t-shirts for our athletes. No athlete in Richmond County ever pays to participate for any sport that they participate or practice, and so we have a company that has stepped up and has donated the T-shirts for this first event of our season, and so there's still the expensive medals. Every athlete that participates that day will receive a medal. When we're talking about medals, the medals are approximately $2 each. And, you know, when you're talking about 123 athletes, we're going to assume we're going to be spending
a good amount. Exactly.
Let's try to do math while we're live on
oh
air.
Gosh.
246 is what I'm thinking that would be. You know, so yeah, there's an expense right there that, you know, those medals are very important to them. You will see those athletes. Sometimes I run into them just out in the community, out at a restaurant or Walmart, and some of them will have their medals on. Those are something they're very proud of and that we never want to deprive them of.
No, exactly. And like I said, I've special needs has been my career until I moved here, and participating in several Special Olympics and spending every day of my life with children and with teens and with adults who have participated. It's a big deal, and they truly look forward to it, and they practice it, and being out there with their friends and showing off and having a good time. It's a big deal.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's something that's important to them, and it's very important to me that we have this continue in our community.
I agree. So you did some math on your own with configuring T-shirts and food and the medals, and so you said on average it would be about $50 to $75 to sponsor an athlete, correct?
That would be for the season, for all 3 events that we do in a season.
Which is not that bad, especially for all 3 events, ensuring that they get what everybody else gets, that they get to participate and be as fully involved as they can be. That's not too shabby.
And there's some things, you know, you just don't think are that important, but them having a new T-shirt at every event, they love that. You know, when we talked about ways that we could continue to fund this and cut down on costs, there was a suggestion that we had to consider of just having 1 T-shirt for the season, but everyone on our committee very quickly decided no. You know, we'll figure out a way. We're going to fund this. We're going to make this happen because they love having those T-shirts. I enjoy wearing my T-shirt. I try to wear it in the community to get the awareness out there every chance I get.
So I do the same thing.
Doing it today.
Yes, yes. I have many autism shirts that I wear all the time.
If nothing else, it's raising awareness at the same time.
Exactly. It's a big deal. I have my little autism puzzle piece ribbon hanging from my car every day. I'm like, y'all need to watch out. Respect. And so actually, next weekend, something very exciting is happening as well. You guys have 6 athletes going to the state fall games.
That is correct. That's going to be held in Charlotte, and that's November the 3rd through the 5th, and they're going to be competing in bocce. We have 5 that will be competing as a team and 1 that will be competing as an individual.
That's very impressive.
Very. So we're very excited about that. We'll be leaving Friday morning and returning Sunday afternoon. So we'll be staying at a hotel there in the Charlotte area, and they'll have lots of events over the weekend for the athletes.
Right, which is awesome because I highly doubt I can make it to state tournament for anything. So that's very good. Kudos to them.
Yeah,
that's
I'm very excited for them.
Good. That'll be a good time. So once again, how can they contact you to, first of all, sponsor an athlete for all 3 events throughout the year, which is the bocce, the athletic event, and then the bowling. And they can even provide the individual chips, individual dessert snacks, the paper products, and the condiments.
Great.
So that's everything that we need, you guys. So come on and
Well,
help.
no, there's one more thing that we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, no.
Getting to the state games, you know, they're invited, but we still have an expense that goes with that.
Yes.
So we will be staying in Charlotte, and Charlotte has worked with Special Olympics, and they're providing us hotel rooms for $20 for the entire weekend, which is an awesome price. I don't think I could go stay anywhere at $20 for the weekend.
Unless you're out camping.
But we still have to pay that. And then feeding the athletes during the weekend. They're going to provide many of the meals, but we have a couple that we're responsible for. So it will cost Richmond County Special Olympics approximately $400 for the weekend for our 6 athletes and our 2 coaches, and then myself as the head of delegation. There will be 9 of us from Richmond County representing our county through the Special Olympics state games next weekend.
Well, good. So for any of those things,
right,
they need to contact you, and give them your number one more time because they need it.
910-997-8379, or again, you can also contact me through Facebook on Richmond County Special Olympics site.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you were here today.
Thank you. I appreciate your letting me come in and talk about something that's very important.
Anytime. Come on in May and in March.
I'll be back shortly then.
Good. Exactly. Well, we look forward to having you then.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks, you guys need to support in any way that you can the Richmond County Special Olympics happening on the 1st at 10 a.m. and it is at East Rockingham Park, correct?
Right. If you don't feel like financially supporting is something that you're able to do, just coming out and cheering would be awesome. You know, we see that the games for our local athletes, typical athletes, I guess we'll call them, you know, we have the stands packed. I know that these athletes love it when people are out there cheering for them. So just if you're available for a couple of hours, if you're an industry that can afford to send a couple of people to come out and volunteer for the day, or just to come out and be those cheers in the stands that just cheer for our athletes. They love to perform for you, and they would really appreciate having you out there to support them.
It makes it feel like the Olympics.
It does. It really does.
All right, guys. Well, you come on out, support financially, support by just being there on the 1st at East Rockingham Park for Richmond County Special Olympics, and we'll be right back after these messages. Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is a specialty retail store in downtown Rockingham, in the heart of Richmond County. We are all about rustic, farm-style home decor and gifts. We offer a variety of antique, vintage, and new items. We love helping you make your house a home with unique, one-of-a-kind finds. We also have specialty gifts for all occasions. Family Pharmacy has been serving Richmond County since April 2007, and we have enjoyed getting to know our customers since then. We take our jobs very seriously, and will do whatever we can to make sure you have what you need. Come visit us on Fayetteville Road in Rockingham, and we will treat you like family.
Welcome back to Live at 5, and with tonight's sports, we celebrate the JV Raiders football team as they defeated the Falcons 40-48 on Thursday. Richmond was able to jump out on top quickly when sophomore quarterback Noah Altman ran it in from 15 yards out for the Raiders' first score of their second possession. A.J. Roseborough picked up after an interception scored a 20-yard touchdown. With 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter, sophomore running back Tashawn Wall was able to muscle himself in for a touchdown score to put the Raiders up for good in the early part of the game.
Complimentary running back LaCyrus Ellerby would put the Raiders up even bigger with a rushing touchdown with just over 30 seconds left in the first half to put Richmond up 28-0. In the third quarter, Roseborough added another touchdown with an 8-yard run. Wall would later put the final nail in the coffin when he rushed in for an 8-yard score in the fourth quarter on a running clock that put Richmond up 48-8. The JV Raiders will finish up the season at home against rival Scotland at home at 6:30 p.m. next Thursday at Raider Stadium. And now we will go to Kelsey Rushing for today's 3-day weather forecast.
Thanks, Haley. Today's 3-day weather forecast is brought to you by Richmond Community College. As you can see from our office cam, it's another sunny day, and that means all week is hopefully going to be sunny. Well, it's fluctuating. It's North Carolina weather. You can't really do much about that. But Saturday, tomorrow, will be Seaboard Festival, and the weather for that looks pretty good. So let's go on to that weather report. So Saturday, we'll have a high of 75 with intervals of clouds and sunshine, and a low of 54 with thunderstorms late in that night. So you'll still be able to go to Seaboard Festival. Sunday, we'll have a high of 58 with showers in the morning, partly cloudy in the afternoon, and a low of 34, partly cloudy early in the evening, so it's starting to drop a little bit there. Monday will high 62 with mainly sunny skies and a low of 38 in your evening as well. The U.S. has had several cold fronts coming in, so stay bundled up, and we'll keep you updated later on. Now back to you, Haley.
Tomorrow, Saturday, October 28th, Hamlet will be hosting its 35th Annual Seaboard Festival downtown. This big event will kick off at 9 a.m. and conclude around 5 p.m., so there's plenty of time to go out and enjoy the food, crafters, and various entertainment. There are activities for everyone in your family, so bring out everyone. It will be a beautiful day. Make sure to catch me there. I will be in that chicken and a stick line. I hope to see everyone there.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you Monday. Don't forget to download our updated app for Apple and Android devices to stay up to date with all news, sports, and local events.
Also, a new feature on the app is coupons for local businesses, so make sure to check it out and support our community. We also want to make sure you send us your events for us to add on the Richmond Observer community calendar. Please send all information to calendar@richmondobserver.com. Good night, Richmond County.